Your two coordinators, I didn't realize. I remember Bryant worked for me, and then Mike Shanahan. Tell me first, they're the most undervalued, other than players. They're the most important people in a coach. And I can't say enough about your staff. Tell me about your staff and how do you
Yeah.
keep them?
Yeah. Bryant and Mike I hired as part-time coaches at the D2 level for less than
Wow.
$10,000. Now, Bryant was with me 2 years and then went to Cal Davis, and they got let go, and that's when I got the Elon job, and I brought him back.
Wow.
And then when Corey Heatherman left me at JMU after 3 years, who's now the DC at Miami, I hired Bryant, he's a great coach. I mean, they both are. And but Grant Kane's been with me probably 7 years at least since I went to JMU, my special teams guy, John Miller, and there's a number of them. And of course, I did lose my strength and conditioning guy, Derek Owings, and that's a key guy. Then he was with me 6 or 7 years, went to Tennessee. So we're going through that right now, but hired a great guy to run that thing. But the staff makes it happen, and we're all on the same page. And that's key to the drill, getting everybody to think alike, especially when you're in season every single day, and then on game day, the players included. And when you've got people that you've been with for a while, it's easier to get that done. You just got to make sure complacency doesn't set in, which when you're successful, that's the daily deal. And how do I keep them? I don't know. I'm a little different than a lot of guys. I don't practice a long time. I'm a 25-minute walkthrough guy on Monday and Friday, and we're about an hour 30 to an hour 40 Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, helmet, shoulder pad.
Wow.
I'm the same way in the office. I come in early, organize the day. When we're done with practice, those coaches, they can go home if they want to, and if their work's done.
Yeah.
And now some of them stay and some of them don't, but I don't walk the halls to see who's here and who isn't. So the one thing I would say is we're pretty efficient in everything we do. Like, we don't waste time when we're here. We're working.
So I'm sorry, Mark. So you're the grind days are Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. Those guys, when you're done practice, because you're so efficient, and then when you roll in the next morning, you don't watch a practice film afterwards.
No, we watch it in the morning. I like to watch practice film when I'm fresh, and I'm a morning guy. So Monday is a late night because we meet with the players at 5, and we start our walkthrough around 7:30, and then everything else is like 2:15, right? And we're done by 5:30. So those guys, if they got their work done, they go home and see their kids.
Wow.
Yeah, that's awesome. I love it. I love the efficiency of the time, Coach. But no, Coach, I remember after we won our national championship, in Pasadena, we flew back to Tuscaloosa the next day, and I remember we had a team meeting, and Coach Saban was on our butt right away. Like, now it's all about what can you do when you're at the top of the mountain, everybody's shooting for you, et cetera, et cetera. And he was on us right away. When did you guys have your first team meeting when you got back to the Hoosiers? And I know it's obviously different with roster retention, roster turnover, but when was the first team meeting, and what was your message to the team?
Yeah. Well, we actually didn't have a team meeting. I did meet with the portal guys together, met with the new high school guys together, and met with the returners together. We have not had a team meeting yet. They're down there in the weight room now working and this and that. But I thought it was really important I get in front of the portal guys and the high school guys, because they had been on campus for 7, 8, 9 days. We're preparing for the national championship, and we kept them separate from the team, just to lay down the law, so to speak, and kind of the direction where we're heading.
So let me ask you that I remember Lou Holtz when we won in, what was it, 06, and it's almost like it's so relieving, and then we did it, and then reality sets in, and I think you're going to feel it. I mean, everyone else I've talked to, at some point you'll feel it, that damn, climbing a mountain, like Mark said a minute ago, and Holtz used to say this to me, is that it takes passion, energy, but when you're on top, it seems like everyone's swinging at you. And Indiana, and I know you know this, but every Big Ten conference school and everyone you're playing has got your game circled. You're Cignetti and you're the Hoosiers now, as opposed to the old Hoosiers. So, have you felt that yet? Probably not, but be prepared for, maintenance is a bitch.
Oh, yeah.
Climbing a mountain's fun,
I mean, it's hard to get to the top of the mountain.
Right.
And the very few teams have done it back to back. To me, it's all about us still. Are we meeting the standard on a daily basis? Are we meeting the standard consistently? Like, my message really isn't the things I believe in are not going to change. My message to the team might change daily based on what I see and how we're doing. Usually, if we're doing pretty good, I may not even talk to the team after practice. But if I don't like what I see, I am going to talk to them. Now, it's not going to be long, but they're going to understand what I'm saying.
Facts. Hey, Coach, one of my favorite plays in the game was when Fernando Mendoza obviously goes for it on fourth down, runs the linebacker over, dives into the end zone, that set the tone, game momentum, help you guys finish the game. What was the play call for that play, and what went into your decision to go for it on fourth down from the 12?
Yeah, well, you got to play to win. You got to have confidence in the players. And sometimes I always remind myself that before the game begins. I'll put some things on paper, how I want to coach the game and whatever. And like I told the staff and the team a few times the last couple games, you win, you're a hero. You lose, you're a bum. So cut it loose and play to win. Right? You can't play not to lose. And I didn't feel real good about trotting a field goal team out there and just getting a 6-point lead and kicking the ball off. They were moving the ball a little bit on us in the second half, and then we had an opportunity to go up 2 scores. And even if we didn't make it, they were going to be pinned down pretty good, right? We were going to have to hold them anyway. So, we went for it earlier in that drive on fourth down.
Great back shoulder to Charlie Becker.
That's right. And, playing to win, man, you got to have confidence in the players. They've been making plays all year long. Quarterbacks have been making plays all year long. Let's go.
Yeah, what was that play call? You could share it or no?
It was just quarterback draw. I mean, we had to call it a little different because we turned the line different than we had all year long.
Did you have an RPO with it in case it was a 6 pressure?
There were RPOs, yeah, on the outside, 2 inside fades and hitches. But we were anticipating the quarterback would run based on what they did the play before and what we thought they would be doing in that situation, and it worked out that way. He broke a few tackles now.
He did that. I
want to change the subject. I want to change the subject real quick. That this whole world of Dabo, Coach Sweeney, the NCAA right now is, it seems to me this is a slam dunk investigation that doesn't take 4.5 years to get. Are you experiencing this? I talked to a lot of friends still, and you say wild, wild west. Are you personally experiencing that nonsense, the tampering with the Indiana roster?
Well, yeah, absolutely. I mean, we had a guy last year offered $1 million, but he'd be shocked at the school. And it's gone on this year. Guys walk in my office and talk to me, and it's tough, man. It's hard. You got these agents calling everybody across America. How you love to play those guys. You try to do it the right way. But it's tough.
Coach, let's pivot forward, right? We're all about moving forward right now. You go to year 1 in your transition from James Madison, Indiana. You leaned heavily into the transfer portal. Year 2, last year, it felt like it was a little bit less, but the portal was still important. So here we are now, year 3. Kind of take us to what the composition of this team is for year 3 and what you want it to be building it out a couple years.
Yeah, I think year 1 we took 32. Year 2 we took 22. This year we took 17. So you see that number going down as the high school recruiting builds up. And now that we're winning, the high school recruiting's getting better. It still takes those guys a little while to develop, and so that they can play winning football. And I don't care, a 24-year-old is going to play better than an 18-year-old. So I don't think you're ever going to see the day where you're not dabbling in the portal. And maybe next year we're at 14. Who knows? But you always have critical needs, and you always got to win every single year. That's just the way the business is now. So the foundation of the house is the high school recruiting, and that's picking up and getting better and better. but you got to supplement it with the portal guys.
Year
Coach,
three,
go ahead,
three different quarterbacks. Can you sustain that? Or is that a model that you like going forward?
We have up to this point. I mean, since 19, Ben DiNucci was player of the year in the conference. 20, Cole Johnson, player of the year in the conference. And then Todd Centeio, 1-year transfer player of the year in the conference. And Jordan McLeod, 1-year transfer player of the year in the conference. And Curtis Work. He was not player of the year in the conference because Dylan Gabriel won the Heisman, but he led the country in QBR. And this year, Fernando Mendoza, obviously. So now we got Josh Hoover. And you build around the quarterback and the offensive talent and get them to kind of play the way you want them to play and get them better. And, it all starts at that position.